here live from the Sprint Center. Big 12 matchup here. Winner goes to the finals next week. Texas is going to take on West Virginia. Both these teams looking to try to get to their first ever. Actually, no, I don't know if I think Texas might have gotten there before to their first. I was going to say to their first ever Big 12 final, but I think Texas got there the year that they got to the Natty, so quite possible they've been there already. But West Virginia's never been this far. Credit to Coach Kyler, who's done a phenomenal job at coaching West Virginia this season. Brown for 3, no good as that rattles in and out. Wyatt, though, with the rebound, but he gets blocked on the interior. Here comes Smith the other way. Spin move, left-hand floater, layup, good. So West Virginia out to a 2-0 lead to start. I mean, Trigger, if you want to, you can, my friend. I can share my screen. Nobody signed up for any of these games today, which is kind of annoying, but it is what it is. But if you want to, my friend, the screen is shared. Feel free to hop in. 2-2 there. They missed the bucket by Texas, but they tied the score. Nice, strong take by Goomba Baba. So 4-2 lead now for West Virginia. West Virginia's been that kind of team that has just, I think, shocked a lot of people with how strong they are, especially after the couple of seasons of just absolutely struggling. But Kyler has trusted the process, as has his team, and has done a phenomenal job not only at recruiting, but at game planning as well. Brown, 3-pointer, no good. Medici up with the rebound. Quick outlet pass to Baba.
Those missed threes are going to hurt.
My main man, Trigger. What's up, buddy? Thanks for jumping in.
What's going on? I saw you in here by yourself.
Yeah.
Help because I had free time.
I had 3 back-to-back games by myself, so I would have if you didn't jump in here. So Texas shooting cold to start here. Baba gonna take it, dishes off to Luigi Medici. Medici can't finish at the rim. Seen a lot of that. We saw a lot of that in that Syracuse-Miami game. Guys just struggling in and around the rim. What do you think about? What do you think about that upset? Syracuse upsetting the undefeated Miami.
Was a heck of a game to watch. Fun one to be able to watch from the stands.
Yeah, I mean,
not what I expected.
I mean, it's not what I expected either. I thought Miami was going to steamroll Syracuse, but C-Webb, I will say the one thing about that man as a coach, he grinds on every coaching game plan possible, and he is a guy that has pulled up some really big upsets in his coaching career. So not surprised to see it. I think I was a little surprised to see it against who he got it against. If I'm going to be completely honest.
Yeah, I mean, Miami's a stout team. I know C-Webb's an amazing coach, but I thought Miami had it. I figured they were going to win it, in all honesty.
Yeah, I mean, they got, I think Syracuse just, between the way they played, the timely big buckets that they got, and, a couple of good bounces that just kind of fell their way. You have to have some ball luck in any game, right? You got to have a little bit of ball luck, where bounces or fouls or shot missed or a rare rebound that just kind of goes to the wrong player that you wouldn't have expected. And Syracuse got that, and then the timely buckets, I think, were huge. Timeout on the court. West Virginia 8-2 leads here, 5:38 left to go in the first game. What were you going to say, though, about that game?
I was going to say, I mean, you got to have a little bit of luck, but there's a lot of game planning that goes into it as well, though. Can't all be luck.
No, and I'm not saying it was all luck. I'm saying listen, there are a lot of games that a lot of these guys, will coach, and if you get the one bounce that causes you to miss, or one little turnover, or a backcourt violation, or something that is just, there's a little bit of luck involved for the other team or for your team. I thought Syracuse got those bounces their way, but they certainly had a great game plan. A lot of big shots when they needed it. And just kept their foot.
At the field,
I mean,
2 for 8 and 3 for 7 already tonight.
That's crazy. These two teams struggling out of the gate early on here. Backdoor alley-oop to Luigi Medici, who can't get the tap-in alley-oop rather to go with Hey, I know that guy.
Hey, I do too.
Are you going to give me 50% of the effort because you're in the booth with me and on the court at the same time?
No, I'll give you everything I got.
All right.
You still know.
Brown not able to capitalize on the open shot there. Baba in the corner now. Yeah, we're going to say.
I was about to say, Foz is one of the guys that even though he's shooting cold right now, you got to rely on. He's an excellent shooter. He's just got to find his rhythm.
Texas is just yet to find. It's weird these Saturday games. It takes some. I feel like these early games on Saturday, a lot of these guys take a little bit of time to kind of get going, as opposed to those primetime games.
They're trying to wake up a little bit. Still early in the morning.
Yeah, they might not have had their coffee yet. Smith in West Virginia, looking hot out of the gate.
They're shooting a 50% versus the 20% from Texas. I mean, that tells the whole story. If it stays like this all game, Texas doesn't stand a chance.
No, I think Texas will find their rhythm. They just got to knock down some shots here. Usually it takes one big moment for a team to kind of get their feet underneath them. Brown going to step back for three. Can't get to go. Zane Cole with a big offensive rebound. He's going to go up with the right-hander and gets it to go. And those are those moments right there, right? That second chance opportunities.
Those can help shift the momentum of the game. And, I mean, someone like Zane Cole or Wyatt are good at getting those second chance points.
For sure, and substitutions for both these squads late into the first quarter, actually. So we'll see how the bench units fare here. Black for three, bang! That's a big three there from Dawson Black.
Nice little way to get the bench unit started out for West Virginia.
Good start. Yeah, that's what you need to come off with a quick bucket to get some momentum going on your side. 10-point lead right now for West Virginia. Turnover here. Excuse me, not a turnover, a foul rather. I thought that was a turnover. My bad.
A little bit of reaching in right there. Trying to get a steal and end up getting picked, called for it.
Good kick outside to Diesel for three. No good. You know what they say about when you reach, right? You reach, I teach.
Never heard that one.
Never heard that one? That's usually when the player takes over. You reach, go for the steal. I blow right by you. 18-6. Oh, Kyler, you're funny.
I don't have Twitch chat brought up. I'm sitting.
He said good bleak black chip because it was Craig Ennis' player that scored.
Yeah, I went to go get food. Then I saw you didn't have anyone in the game, so I figured I'd hop in the booth with you. So I'm sitting in a Dairy Queen parking lot calling the game.
Oh, jeez, you're gonna sit in the Dairy Queen parking lot for an hour? Dang.
Okay, and
no, that's fine by me. I mean, did you get me a bacon, egg, and cheese while you were there? I could use some breakfast right now. I'm starving. I didn't eat any breakfast. I'm just having a cup of coffee.
I woke up at like 11:10, so this is my breakfast.
Nice. Oh, yeah. Good kick out to the corner for three. No good, too strong. Wilson, though, there for the offensive rebound and putback.
Got to do a better job covering those corners. They've been open quite often for this West Virginia squad.
West Virginia has been consistent all season long. Coach Collar's done a really, really nice job. Floater in the lane, not able to go. Jenkins up with the rebound. Smith going to spot up for three. Bang! Splashtown.
Normally you see one or two players start off cold, but this whole Texas squad has started off cold this game.
No, this bench unit, including Reginald Tenpenny, is going to need to be the guy that gets him going. Fade away, too, no good. Kyler said you need to get him a Butterfinger Blizzard, by the way.
Okay, y'all are asking for too much. Oh.
I happen to be a big fan of Dairy Queen. I'm not gonna lie. We have one here in New York. It's about 10 minutes from my house, 15 minutes from my house.
Yeah, I had to go to the next town over for me to be able to get breakfast. I don't have anything in my town.
Tenpenny blocked inside as Texas is just continuing to struggle here. Down 25-7. Need to find their legs, and they need to find it quick before this game gets out of control. You don't want to.
This game's
yeah
already starting to get slowly out of control. I mean, this West Virginia squad's found their rhythm, and Texas has still got wet feet.
Yeah, they need to figure something out quickly here. Need some adjustments. Rough first quarter here for Texas. Texas has played well this year, just haven't been as consistent as they should be. But nice foul, reverse layup there.
Texas had their ups and downs this season. They've started off slow a lot this whole season. But West Virginia, they started off a little slow, but now they've got their rhythm going, and they're a tough team to beat.
They just drilled a three-pointer to end the first quarter. They put a 30 spot on the board in the first quarter. I want to see what the shooting percentage is. Come right back. We'll be right back to Csba on Twitch. Alright, we're back. Quickest ad breaks in the biz.
I hope someone did not bet on the shooting percentage of the combined shooting percentage of these teams, because it's not very good.
Well, West Virginia is shooting electric right, lights out right now. So Black for three, no good. You got to weather the storms. Those are the big things. We know West Virginia is going to be strong here. Tenpenny got it. It's all about shot selection too right now. Texas, I feel like, is forcing it a little bit.
West Virginia's been doing an amazing job in the paint, making it so they don't have open looks as well. I mean, they're just making life hell for Texas.
West Virginia, though, needs to take care of the ball here. Take some good shots. Take advantage when West Virginia does miss. Maybe get some easy transition buckets. Lacey finishing at the rim. Good find underneath.
Shooting a whopping 26% and 57%.
With 30 on the board, I would have thought that it was well over 60, but Jenkins, floater, gets it to go. It's just everything falling for West Virginia right now.
West Virginia's got their rhythm. I mean, they're shooting good. They're playing really good defense, and they're locking down the paint.
Yep. Trigger, the one thing that'll be interesting next year, West Virginia, Kyler and his squad going to go over to the SEC. So there'll kind of be a refocus for West Virginia with a new coach and new roster. But this roster is going to go to the SEC, and be curious to see what they can do there.
Yeah, I mean, they've got a lot of talent. They're able to compete in any conference they go to, I think.
That's fair, very fair. Reginald Tenpenny for three, bang, and a big three needed there as they cut the lead back to 20. Backdoor pass. Black wide open. And a wise timeout there from Texas.
But give me just a second, Warren.
Yeah,
I'm
dude.
gonna go get my breakfast.
Yeah, dude.
While we call.
You're good, my friend. Go ahead. So 36-14. Texas is going to need to put their foot on the gas pedal here. Trying to get things going, and that is not going to help them as Malcolm Chamberlain tried to force the pass inside to Josh Young, and it just resulted in a turnover and a 2-point dunk the other way. Shot no good. Rebound, quick backdoor pass. Fozzie Brown counted it in one, and Texas starting to find a little bit of rhythm right now. Finding their legs a little bit. And unfortunately, they've dug themselves a 20-point deficit, which obviously not a good thing. Brown needed to connect the free throw there. Turnover to Wyatt. Wyatt off the glass. Can't get it to go. They needed to capitalize. Baba with a take. Baba for two. Keep it in the high teens until you get to the second half, and maybe the momentum will change. But got to be consistent here. Nice take by Josh Young. You know, you keep this at 15 at halftime, you got a shot at refocusing at half and seeing what you can do in the second. Medici going to fire up from two, and just West Virginia just continues to shoot lights out right now. They're going to give him credit for a three? Really? Wow. That did not look like a three to me. Brown. We go down on the low post to Wyatt. Wyatt, little baby hook. That's good. I know, it's the modded court. Listen, I honestly do think that they missed some of the shot in the minutes, some of those calls, but I mean, the three-point line looks like where it should be, so I don't know. I have to run some NBA games without modded courts to see if that shit happens. Young drives, gets ball picked off from behind. Somehow Young ends up with the ball. 8 on the shot clock here. Baba doing a nice job of bodying him up, but Josh Young says, I'll spin this way, show you a little splash town. So that shooting percentage starting to rise up now for Texas. They need some stops, though. That's the key. You're only going to get back in this game if you do it on the defensive end, and this is where it's time to get dirty. Get sweaty. Deep down. Medici, left hand, floater no good, Josh Young. So there's the stop that they needed. Now Texas needs to capitalize. Fozzie Brown in transition, can't get it to go, and that's the buckets that they have to make if you're Texas. So they play the good defensive set there, but not able to capitalize on transition. Now Smith along the baseline, going to pull it out. Ball swatted away. Good steal, 3 on 0 the other way. Brown's going to need to drive here. Does. Gets fouled from behind by Chaco Yank. Looks like Fozzie couldn't get any separation. There was a 3 on 0 the other way, but Brown fouls him from behind. Or gets fouled from behind by Yank, rather. And Brown misses the free throw. And this has just been Texas's day so far.
Fozzie has came out of this first half ice cold.
Yeah, he hits 1 of 2 there. The hard part there on that breakaway 3 on 0 is he could have hit that. He could have passed that to one of his teammates who probably would have had a better shot driving to the rim, because it didn't look like he had much separation speed between him and his defender behind him. So they only come away with 1 point there. Brown no good again. They go for the double team. Good defense there in the interior.
Texas has been starting to slow them down a little bit.
A little bit. X-Face basically already saying good game, and a missed free throw there as that toilet bowl rolled in and off the rim.
So, what's your final thoughts on this game? Like, when coming in, who did you honestly think was going to win?
I mean, it's tough to say. West Virginia's played so well, but Texas has had some really big moments this season. So I don't really have an opinion on necessarily who would have won. I mean, I didn't think Syracuse was going to beat Miami. So a lot of it comes down to the game planning and knowing the rosters, and then having some of it is obviously getting the sim to roll your way too, but some of it is also the rosters and the game planning put in. I mean, You know, you look at that Miami-Syracuse game, it's quite possible, and I don't know this definitively, but like Miami could have rolled a different game plan out than what they normally do because they're trying to match up against a team, and the game plan just did not work. You know what I mean? And that happens. And that's the tough part about being a coach is now you have the ability to run any playbook you want. So guys, a lot of these coaches try to alter their game plans from game to game to try to get their teams to match up or play better against a certain team, thinking that that game plan will work better or that playbook will work better. So it's a nice pass from Chamberlain. Wow. So it's tough to say. That's why I never put a ton of stock into who should win. Yes, sometimes talent obviously rises above all else, but you know, with these new arcs, if you're not using them the right way and where you're putting your offensive options of guys that probably shouldn't be your offensive options, it could just change, you know, a game on a dime. So you never know. And like, Texas is starting to find their rhythm right now. You know, yes, they trail by 17, but they've got it under 20 now, which is good. So maybe they can get another bucket here, make it 15, see what happens in the second half. I know that was a lengthy answer to your question, but I mean,
it was an answer.
nah, but and Josh Young can't capitalize on them. I mean, it's one of those things where you can't always judge a book by its cover, and that's what I say to see a lot of the guys that tune in like, oh, I'm not going to tune in for that game. It's going to be a blowout or this, that, and the other thing. Like, you just saw Syracuse beat an undefeated team, and that's why you tune in. Yes, you're going to have the stinkers. They're going to happen. But, you know, remember this. You got to play 4 quarters here, so game is not 1.5, and we've seen teams come back from 20. So I think for me, Trigger, though, if I'm going to watch this game, Texas has got to get it done on the defensive end to start. And they started to do a little bit of that late.
They got to get it done on the defensive end, and they got to shoot better. And West Virginia just got to continue playing their game. They've done it all season. When they play their game, it's hard to beat.
Yeah, I agree. The pieces fit well together. Shooting percentage is starting to creep up. Obviously, rebounds are a huge advantage to to West Virginia. So that's the other thing. Besides the fact that they got to get it done on the defensive end, they got to step up on the boards as well.
Yeah, those boards can make a huge difference. I mean, if you're going to let West Virginia get all these second chance points, they're going to put them in. Even if they shoot a low percentage, you give them 3 shots at the same shot, it's going to go in.
Well, we'll see if Texas can continue to push the efforts defensively. Black going to be the featured player, the high scorer with 10, just in 6 minutes too from Dawson Black. So that's impressive. So.
West Virginia coming out with a 17-point lead out of half.
Well, the good news for Texas is they got it down into the teens, but got to do it defensively there. Not the way they wanted to start off the quarter. But still got...
You got to find the stops.
Yeah, you got to find the stops, but you still got a whole half of the play, so you just got to chip away. You know, you can get this lead down to 10 by the fourth quarter. Nice pick by Fozzie Brown. You get this down to 10 by the start of the fourth quarter, you're in this ball game.
Yeah, and just want to point out, Fozzie's duck, it is not often you see those short men going up and landing a flush with authority like that.
Nah, you love to see it. I've seen Matt Vlidock do that a couple times too. Love when some of those shorter guards do it. Good defense there, and again the boards, and good job by Wyatt to come over and secure that quick outlet pass to Young. So Texas is getting the stops here and there, and now they got to capitalize on the offensive side. But again, 5 guys there wasting time, waiting to set up a play. Oh, they got to go to Cole. He's got the size mismatch down low. Use that big body, and he gets stripped by Kyler Smith. Baba to Smith. Alden Smith finishing with the alley-oop. That's tough. That is. Not only did Texas do a good job on the previous possession, but they had the size mismatch in the low post with Cole and the quicker Kyler Smith, but he should have bodied him harder.
Yeah, it should have. made his way down the lane a little bit closer as well.
Nice shot from Malcolm Chamberlain. Bank is open. So back to 17. Like again, weather the storms, get this to 10 points. Got 6 minutes to do that. Baba finishing at the rim.
They've got to start playing a complete game. Your Texas, if you want any chance.
Josh Young, nice find to find Wyatt. Back door. Back to 17. You know, the interesting thing is X-Faces says that dude's a foot taller and loses the matchup. You know, speed versus size, we talk about it a lot of times. Obviously, the low post size usually wins probably about 90% of the time. But one thing about quicker players on a big player, your big players are a little slow and methodical in their approach when dribbling and whatnot. So not surprised to see a smaller player strip big players, were my point I was trying to make.
Yeah, I mean, they got the little agile frame versus someone large like Cold.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean,
aging up.
The surprising thing is the rebound factor from the small versus the big. The small dude's been doing work down there.
Yeah, sometimes they do able to get in amongst the trees, and I think that was a little bit of a force by Fozzie Brown on that take, as he's now 3 of 10. And a bad pass there, and this is where Texas has got to take advantage of the miscues by West Virginia. They're not playing as sharp as they did in the first half.
Texas defense has been looking a little bit better, and West Virginia is seeming a little out of sync. It seems like they got maybe a little confident going into this half with that huge lead.
Fozzie, tough bucket as he sliced and diced his way inside. By the way, Fozzie in Stream Chat said he heard Medici doesn't go to class. Trying to get a illegal availability or whatever, I forget. Eligibility is the word I was looking for.
Hey, the highest person in Texas football history just graduated, and it was with a 2.68 GPA.
Oh, jeez.
And that's in their history, and it had a 2.68 for their football players.
Fozzie Brown for 3, and he's got to connect on those. Texas going to get it. Again, West Virginia giving them opportunities here. Is West Virginia playing sloppy in this third quarter? Texas got to capitalize here if they want to pull within 10 at least by the end of the third.
Yeah, I mean, Texas has been having some huge miscues across and some wide open threes missed. They got to start making those if they want to come back in this.
Nice strong take there by Texas. Cuts the lead to 15.
We got the bench units out for both teams.
Backdoor alley-oop. Nice play to Jenkins. He separated himself from his defender. So back to 17 we go. They got to get over that 15-point hump. Floater, no good. It looked like a little bit of a forced shot there. That was Madden who shot that. Black! Nice take. He's got 12.
Texas has been taking too many shots that shouldn't be taken, and West Virginia is just taking everything Texas is leaving them.
Yeah, the other thing is this nice take by Reginald Templeman. Everything that's been a little too much ISO for me if I'm Texas, but the one thing that I will say is that West Virginia is hitting the shots even when challenged at the rim. I mean, they shot lights out in that first half. They're shooting 75% here in this quarter, and that's with all the miscues that they've had. Black from deep, that's good. I call that a 3-pointer.
Making it right back to a 20-point game.
Yeah. You know, the question is, the thing that I always say from teams is like, you get knocked down, can you get back up, and or even if you get a lot of hard shots, take a lot of hard shots on the chin, and still managed to shoot really good. And Texas is shooting 70% in this game, and they trail by 18. So,
I mean, when you're giving them the rim play after play,
yeah,
it's even though you came up shooting good the third period, if you could have shot like this the first 2 periods as well, it might be a different game. But
yeah, I mean, they dug themselves such a big hole that it's difficult.
They put themselves in a hole that they can't come out of unless they start playing D.
Yeah, it doesn't help when they're forcing shots up at the end of the shot clock. It's not. God bless. It's not looking good. 65-43, back to a 22-point lead with 1:07 to go here, third quarter.
Definitely not been the game for Texas, but West Virginia's still doing their thing.
Well, Texas lucky they didn't throw away there. The entry pass to Diesel almost went over his head.
Nice little rejection there.
Oh, a nice block.
He just had 3 blocks in a row. And it's my teammate, and I still don't know who it is by number.
I turned away from it. It's probably Diesel. I think I turned away from the computer for a second just because I want to give my son a hug.
Little one always
what? Nice 3 there.
Little ones are always nice.
Yeah, he's 8, so love my 2 boys to death. They're my everything. Alden Smith from deep. That's good. Just inside the line.
Diesel's over there feeling himself too.
10 Penny for 3 to end the corner. Can't get it to go. So 20-point lead heading into the fourth. Does Texas have anything in the tank to try to pull out of this deficit? That first quarter killed them. We'll see what happens in the fourth. CSBA watching. We're on Twitch. We're right.
I think the only way for Texas to come back in this is you get hot and you get hot fast. And I mean 3 after 3 while playing defense.
Well, they need to do what West Virginia did to them in the first quarter, which is capable. I mean, we saw West Virginia do it to them. But I've always said, and I've said this season 1, Trigger, and you guys probably weren't around from that, is when you dig yourself these big holes, it takes so much energy to bridge, to put in to come on a comeback, and then in those waning moments when you cut it to 2, you cut it to 4, whatever, you kind of guess. Right now, West Virginia just continues to roll, so I don't know if that's going to happen. But they need to, if they're going to do it, now's the time. You cannot let West Virginia and the Mountaineers do what they've been doing all game long, which is get easy buckets.
Yeah, they have to go on a run now. Texas has any chance, they need a run, they need it now.
Medici from deep, that's good. He's got the range to shoot that. It's tough. West Virginia, I mean, if I'm going to be completely honest, I mean, coming into this tournament, I think if I had to say any of the teams that I saw were going to be meeting in the final, it probably was going to be them and Kansas. Lacey for 3, that's good. Good kick out there, cuts it to 19. But I've seen spurts from Texas, so I was like, okay, well, maybe they can challenge. This was the game I figured would be close. I didn't expect it to be this.
Yeah, this is what I expected at all. I expected a close physical game. I expected both defenses to be in each other's face all game long.
Yeah, this is going to be, I mean, listen, the only good saving grace for Texas out of this, if they come away out of this game with a loss, we know they're going to be in March Madness. They've done enough this season to put themselves in there. Regroup, figure out, run some practices, figure out what you're gonna want to do for this for March Madness in the postseason, the true postseason. Obviously, coming away with a Big 12 title would have been nice.
I think if you're Texas right now, you call a timeout and you get a different lineup out there. Your bench has been getting ate alive, though.
Yeah, it's kind of a mixed unit right now as Lacey comes up with a steal, gets it to Chamberlain. And you know what? West Virginia has done a good job at getting back in transition and fouling when they've needed to foul. Get down. Get off the couch, Molly. Hey! 1 second.
Yeah. But no, you're right. West Virginia's been doing a good job in transition. A lot of their points have came off fast break points. And when Texas gets the fast break as well, West Virginia's there stuffing them.
Mm-hmm. Remember, guys, coming up after this, the winner going to get one of these two teams, Texas Tech or Kansas. So you're going to want to tune in for that. We got 28 in the stream. Appreciate you guys hanging out with us on a Saturday afternoon. Yeah, dog on the couch. I just didn't want her. She's a puppy, so I don't trust her.
Yeah, understandable.
Well, she's had some accidents on the couch, so I just don't trust her. If nobody's watching her, like, I don't mind her there if I'm sitting there, but when nobody's watching her, I don't trust her. Josh Young, that's good.
What type of puppy is it?
A little Shih Tzu puppy. She's cute. She's just about 6 months.
I don't even know what that is. So
6 months old. Medici not able to get that to go.
But that play right there just told you the story of this whole game. Their second chance points.
I mean, Texas has definitely played better. They just haven't played
good enough to come up from that first quarter wallop they took.
Yeah. I just sent you a picture of my dog on DM.
Oh.
That's what a Shih Tzu. That's what she looks like.
A little furball.
Yes. I mean, she's sweet as pie, but. Ooh, tough miss there. Ball. Toilet bowl rolls off. Josh Young, baseline jumper. That's good.
I mean, this lead just is now, I think, too insurmountable.
Yeah, not with 3:16 left to go here, and not with the rebounding the way West Virginia just continues to rebound.
Yeah, if they wanted any chance, they would have had their foot on the pedal the whole second half.
Baba. He gets picked from Smith. West Virginia. Nice little up and under, but Smith there. Again, the rebounding just absolutely killing right now for West Virginia. They have just owned the boards. Young fadeaway jumper, no good. 2:22.
I saw.
Again.
I was about to say, I saw Smith having 14 points, and I'm willing to guess all 14 of those points followed a rebound.
I wouldn't doubt it. That is his game. I love a player who just does all the dirty work. Smith no good for the three.
He does all the dirty work, and he makes it look good while he does it.
Yes, sir. Chamberlain up and under. That's good. Nice take by Malcolm Chamberlain. Fortunately, the Texas offense starting to click. This is the way they played in the first quarter. This would be a much different game.
Yeah, I mean, that first quarter from Texas is the story of this game. I mean, ever since then, the score's been roughly the same, but the life's just too far out of Texas after that first quarter to make that comeback.
Yeah, it's a lot to ask any team to come back from that big of a deficit. They made strides, but West Virginia is also a tough team, and they're not going to just give you those easy buckets. Nice pass inside to Wyatt, who throws that down.
But I mean, even without that deficit, West Virginia has been able to match Texas shot for shot.
Yep.
So I mean, even if that deficit wasn't going to be there, the score would have been the same gap as it was at the first.
For sure. And, I think obviously you still got a whole lot of season to go with postseason coming here, but let's just talk a little bit about for Texas next year. I could see Texas focusing their efforts a little bit on the interior, maybe trying to bring in some bigs, so some sort of dominant big. Not knocking Zane cold or Wyatt, just I think they need a big man, maybe one of those big tree type players.
And then they got to replace Fozzie Brown, which isn't easy to do.
No, without a doubt, no.
But yeah, I think they're going to be looking for a big man coming this offseason. Like I said, one of those giant trees just to sit there and take the pressure off of the rebounding. Because I mean, you have Cold and White; they're both doing a phenomenal job down low under the post. But just sometimes that height does make a little bit of a difference.
Oh yeah, for sure. But for me, I would like to see them bring in a big tree, somebody to alter shots in the interior, grab some rebounds. Solid game from West Virginia. They're going to advance to the Big 12 final. They're going to face the winner of the next game coming up, Texas Tech versus Kansas, immediately following this one. But congrats to West Virginia. What a solid game from beginning to end. And again, that first quarter, putting a 30 spot on. I mean, think about it. They scored 30 in the first, but they finished with 84. So they only scored 54 points in the rest of the other three quarters. So
yeah, I mean, that first quarter was the story. Texas wasn't there at all for the first quarter.
No, definitely not. So 84-68. Texas actually gets their shooting percentage up to 50%. They struggle from the free throw line, which is a little bit of a surprise, 4 of 7. But look at the rebounds. I mean, what was that? 46 rebounds for West Virginia to only 24. So they doubled down on the rebounds. Never led in this game. Biggest lead of the game was 25 by West Virginia. Let's just kind of break down quickly that the first quarter was 30-9. That's 21 points right there. That's a 21-point deficit to start this game.
Yeah.
Played much better. Texas actually won the second quarter, and at halftime, they trailed by 17 in the third quarter. Kept it close. You talked about them keeping. You talked about it being close quarter by quarter, especially after the second quarter. West Virginia wins the third only by 3 points, and then Texas wins the fourth. So you called it, Trigger. This game was based on this horrible start in the first quarter by the Longhorns being down 21 after one.
Yeah, I mean, that first quarter it was the nail in the coffin, but I mean, that's all because West Virginia came out. They had the better game plan to start, and it took Texas a second to be able to find their rhythm to roll with it.
Yeah, for sure. And then you look at the second half, Texas actually wins the second half by 1 point. So that first quarter, I think they'd love to have that back, but unfortunately they're not going to get it back, and West Virginia are going to go on to the finals. So credit to West Virginia for a solid game throughout. Let's look at the losing team, Texas. Fozzie Brown finishes 5 of 14. Absolutely struggled in this game. Did score 12 points, had a couple of steals, but a very unlike Fozzie Brown game in my opinion. 12, 3, and 7 for Josh Young. Finishes 6 of 10. Responsible for team's 26 points, which is that's a solid job from your small forward. DeMarcus Wyatt finishing with 10 and 6, 5 of 8 from the field. Reginald Tenpenny finishes with 9, 2 assists to go along, 3 of 8 shooting. Isaiah Lacey, 3 of 5, 1 of 1 from beyond the arc. Lacey, I think Lacey needed a few more opportunities to shoot because he looked good a couple of times, but he finishes with 7 points. Malcolm Chamberlain, 6-0-2. Need a little bit more from your point guard, especially from an assist perspective. Zane Cole, 6-7-4. Troy Madden, 2-0-3. Luke Diesel. I always get Luke and Levante confused. Apologies. 2 points, 3 rebounds, 2 blocks, but not a lot from the bench. The bench looked very cold. Matt Agent finishes with 2. So if you look at your bottom 3 guys on the bench, they only provided you with 6 points, and then you didn't get a lot of money.
The bench was 9.
9 and 7 for Lacey and Tenpenny. So you got 16. You got about 22 points from your bench.
Yeah, I think that West Virginia bench just bodied Texas all game long.
Yeah, for sure. The talent was a little stronger there. Dawson Black finishes 15, 3 and 2. Alden Smith finishes with a double-double. Yeah, you talked about all his games. All his shots coming in and around the rim, and they did. He finishes with a double-double, 14 and 11. Solid game from him. 7 offensive rebounds. That's impressive. That might actually even be a record. I don't think that's a record, but it's probably up there. From an offensive rebounds perspective. 10, 3 and 4, and with a steal for Gumba. So how many? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 players in double figures. Adam Smith finishes with 10 and 4. Luigi Medici, 8, 5 and 1. Medici did not shoot the ball well. 3 of 15. I actually didn't think he played that poorly, but did not shoot overly well from the field. Jamar Jenkins, 8, 7, 2 and 1. Good game from him. He was a plus 22. Was Jamar Jenkins? That's interesting. Brooklyn Kurtz, 6, 2 and 6 with a steal. There's a lot of points from a lot of different players in this game. Jacko Yank, 5, 4 and 2. Kyler Smith, 4, 1, 2 with 3 steals from Kyler. Zach Wilson with 4 points and 4 rebounds and an assist. So solid game throughout the West Virginia lineup. They go on to win this one 84-68. Any parting words here from you, Trigger, before we sign off?
Good luck, West Virginia.
All right, good luck, West Virginia. From Trigger, we got another game coming up, Texas Tech and Kansas, literally right after this one. As soon as I get the stats up, we will launch. So make sure you guys tune in for that one. We got one more on the slate before we start our July 4th weekend. So CSB, stick around for that one. We'll be right back.